Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a get ready with me on the look that I'm wearing today. For my first fall look, I wanted to do something a little bit more smoky and intense and full coverage. I will come back and do a more natural look very soon, but for today's video, I wanted to recreate the look that I had in my BoxyCharm video because a lot of you guys asked to see it. So I thought I would film it for you. I used the Colourpop So Jaded palette, and then I also used the Colourpop Misunderstood palette, which is from the Disney Villains collection. It's pretty simple. It just takes a little extra blending. If you're in a hurry, I probably wouldn't recommend this look, but if you have some extra time or you wanted to do something a little bit more dramatic, these shadows are fun to work with. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comment section below if there are any other palettes you want to see in action or any other looks you want me to film for my channel for fall, and I'll definitely write them down and film them for you. But I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's jump into it, and I'll kick it off with foundation. Okay, so I'm going to start with my face and then I'll move on to my eyes. So I'm going to start with the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hydrating Hyaluronic Acid Primer. I only tried this yesterday for the first time, so this is only the second time that I'm using it, and I just wanted to continue to test it out. Yesterday, I had really good results with it. As soon as I applied my foundation on top yesterday, I was instantly impressed by how smooth it looked. I do struggle with pretty large pores around my nose, and they were definitely diminished after using this product. So for foundation, I do want to go for more of a full coverage look today. I'm going to do more of like a full glam look. I will come back and do more of a lightweight look very soon because I've really been enjoying the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer. But for today, I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Longwear Foundation. I'm currently mixing two shades, 140 and 150. When I apply this foundation at first, it will probably look a little bit light, but it all evens out in the end. Now that we're in fall, I've been going like completely full coverage like I'm going to today, or I've been reaching for that tinted moisturizer from Colourpop. There's not really like an in-between for me. But whenever I'm doing more of a intense, colorful, smoky eye, I tend to prefer more of a full coverage base, and I just go all out. I'm excited to be filming a Get Ready With Me. I actually wasn't sure what I was going to film today. Usually I plan my videos out ahead of time just so I can have everything ready and be prepared, but today I was going to film like a declutter video, and I was like, no, I kind of just want to sit down, do my makeup, and chat with you guys. So that's what we're going to do. It's almost the weekend. We have kind of a busy weekend ahead of us. My husband and I are going to go see his favorite band ever in concert. It's been his favorite band since he was like 12 years old. I don't know if you guys have heard of the band Switchfoot, but I feel like we are always seeing them because they're his favorite, and I think they're good, but I just kind of like tag along with them. He is like a diehard fan though. He even he got his first tattoo back in the spring, and it was like Switchfoot lyrics that the lead singer like wrote out in his handwriting, which is pretty cool. But we're going to go do that on Friday. They're coming to Rochester, which is like a few hours away from us. We were going to go to Niagara Falls because it's not super far from Rochester. So we were like, maybe we'll just make the trip while we're there, but it's just kind of a crazy weekend, so we were like, maybe we'll save it because we didn't want to be too rushed, so we're not actually doing that. This is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Correcting Concealer in the shade 30NN. This one is a little bit light for me, but I'm making it work because it's the one that I have. If you guys have been to Niagara Falls or like you're familiar with it, when do you think is a good time to go? Is there like a certain time of the year where it's like extra pretty? I know it's probably pretty cold there, so I assume going in like the middle of winter is not ideal, but if you guys have any insight, I would love to know. I just think we're not too far from there, and we've never gone, so it is something that we want to do. But anyways, on Saturday, my cousins have homecoming, so they're going to come over. I'm going to help them with their makeup. You guys, I get so nervous doing makeup on other people. I don't do makeup on a lot of other people. Like I'm not a professional makeup artist or anything like that. In fact, I feel like I've kind of gotten down how I do my own makeup, but I feel like it can sometimes be difficult to do it on other people because everybody's eye shapes are different, their skin types are different, but my cousins are freshmen in high school. It's their homecoming, so they're going to come over with a few of their friends, and we're just going to kind of play around with some makeup. I'm sure we'll be able to figure some things out. All right, I'm just going to set the concealer into place with the Urban Decay Velvetizer, which is what I always use to set my under eye concealer. I feel like it does not crease when I use this product. And then Sunday, we're having my family over to celebrate my mom's birthday. Her birthday is actually on Saturday, but we always have family dinner on Sundays. So whenever there's like a family birthday, we just kind of move it to Sundays. But it's good because I feel like since I'll be having people over this weekend, it will give me the motivation I need to clean my house. I actually need to do that tonight. I'm using the Too Faced Peach Perfect Mattifying Loose Setting Powder, and I'm just going to set my foundation into place. I think I do like cleaning. Like, I enjoy dusting and vacuuming, and of course I love like a clean house. I like organizing. I do not like doing like the dishes or the bathroom, so my husband always does like the dishes, the kitchen, the bathroom, and then I do like the dusting, the vacuuming. But what do you guys do? Do you have like a cleaning routine? Do you have a cleaning schedule? I feel like I've tried to create one so many times in my life, and I find that I never stick to like a very specific routine. I just prefer to like set aside an entire Saturday and like tackle the whole house. I'm sure you guys don't come to my channel to hear me talk about cleaning. So let me do my eyebrows and then I'll move on to the eyes. Actually, let me show you guys what I'm doing for my brows because I am using some new products. So I've been using this Hourglass Arch Brow Volumizing Fiber Gel. They did send this to me in the mail as PR. And honestly, I haven't really fallen in love with a new brow gel. I love the Colourpop Brow Boss, and actually, I have been testing out the Covergirl brow gel as well, which I do really, really enjoy. But this one's kind of nice too. So I actually apply brow gel before I fill in my brows. I don't know why I do it in this order. I just feel like I can use less brow pencil if I go in with a gel first, especially a tinted gel or one with fibers, because it just makes my brows look a little bit more full. This one is so sparse and thin compared to the other one, and I feel like maybe it's getting thinner. I think that I sleep on my face, like on my eyebrow, which is bad. I've been trying not to do that, but I don't know what's going on with this brow. It's just very, very thin lately. So to fill in my brows, I've actually been using two different brow pencils. I'm back to using my Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Dark Brown. That is my favorite brow pencil of all time, but I've also been testing out this Hourglass pencil, which again, they did send this to me. This is the Arch Brow Micro Sculpting Pencil, and I have the shade Dark Brunette. So anyways, I've been using the Brow Wiz to fill in the majority of my brow. So I just kind of fill in any sparse areas and then outline it. So I'm going to switch to the Hourglass pencil, and it really is such a tiny pencil. If you guys have any alternatives, like if you know of any other pencils that are very, very small that are good for drawing on like really precise hair-like strokes, because I don't have a lot of hair in the front of my brows. So I feel like the Anastasia Brow Wiz is good, but sometimes when I go to draw on those hair-like strokes, they don't look as natural. So I'll kind of fast forward through this part because I can't talk and do it at the same time. Okay, I'm going to finish off my brows with the Urban Decay Brow Blade. I have the shade Dark Drapes. I'm going to take the ink stain side. Sometimes when I fill in my brows, they still look sparse, and it doesn't matter like how much pencil I go in with. It doesn't matter if I go in with powder. They just look sparse, or if I fill them in too much, they don't look natural. This ink stain really creates the most hair-like strokes. You just have to use an incredibly light hand, because if you go in with too much of a heavy hand, like I kind of just did in the front of my brows, it will look like an actual marker. So anyways, let me do this side and then I will move on to the eyes. I did this look the other day and I felt like it took me a long time to blend it out because the shades are very dark. So hopefully I can create like a well blended look. I feel like whenever I go to do my makeup on camera, it never looks as good as it did when I was just like standing at my mirror doing it. I think it's probably because I'm trying to multitask and like talk and do my makeup at the same time, but I will give it my best effort. So I used the shade My Precious to set my eyeshadow primer into place. And then I'm going to go in with the shade Rose Quartz and use that as a transition color. It's just like a nice cooler toned, like taupey beige, but it also has like a very slight pink undertone, which I think goes well with the shades that I'm going to use. So I'm just going to blend that into the crease, above the crease, just everywhere on the eye as a nice, light, soft transition color. So next I'm going to go in with the shade Stoned. I feel like it would be a little bit easier if I had something in between these two shades to blend out, but we're just gonna go for it. So this is a really pretty like gray toned brown. I feel like when I use this color, it takes a little bit of extra blending, but I find that that's typically the case with like these gray toned shadows. I've really been loving a lot of cooler toned looks this fall, and a lot of shades that are in this color family just don't blend out as easily as like warm toned browns for some reason. I'm just going to switch gears and kind of blend eyeshadow onto this eye for a little while, and then I'll come back and see what I need to do. So I'm going to use the Misunderstood palette in just a couple of shades from here. I'm going to be using the shade 101, which is kind of like a light black. It definitely has some gray in it. It's not as intense as like a true deep dark matte black, but I actually prefer that. I feel like blacks are very intimidating. I don't typically go in with a lot of black shadow unless I'm lining my upper lash line, but I'm just going to blend this into the outer corner and then slightly work it into the crease. I just want to make this very dark and dramatic. I don't have to be super precise because I will go in and clean it up, and then I'm placing a metallic all over the lid, so you won't necessarily see a lot of this shadow. It's just going to intensify that outer corner. But you guys, the Misunderstood palette is so good. I'm definitely late to the game on this one because I think it was released, I want to say last year at some point. The colors are intense and rich, and there are some just absolutely perfect metallics in the palette. Okay, let me do the other eye and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm just going to go back in with a little bit of the shade Rose Quartz, which is what I initially used as a transition, and I'm just going to blend everything together. Again, it's going to get a little bit messy before it gets better, but I will go in and kind of clean things up afterwards. Right now, I just want to make sure that everything looks blended. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the shade Jetsam. I think that's what it's called. I honestly don't know what Disney movie that's from. I'm going to Google it to see if I can find out. I don't feel like I'm up on my Disney. Oh, The Little Mermaid. So it's these eels from The Little Mermaid. This is actually like the perfect color. That's kind of like the eye look that I'm going for. But look how rich and intense this is. Like, I didn't wet the shadow. I actually never wet my shadows. I always just kind of take my finger and apply them all over the lid. This is such a gorgeous color. I don't know, when I was like picturing a look in my head, I just saw like grays and some cooler toned smoky colors, and I just think it goes really well with those colors. Oh no, I just went into a completely different shadow. Okay, so I'm just going to apply a little bit more. The only thing that I felt like this shade was missing was like, I don't know, maybe like a purple shimmer. Like if it had like specks of purple in it, I feel like that would be even prettier. But it's still really, really gorgeous on its own. So let me just apply some on the other eye too. Okay, so now that that is done, I'm just going to go back in with a little bit of the shade 101, kind of stamp that in the outer corner, and just kind of go back and forth between all the shades that I used and just make sure everything is as well blended as I can get it to be. I feel like this is what makes the biggest difference with eyeshadow looks. Like if you do your eyeshadow and then it's looking kind of patchy, a little bit muddy, just kind of go back and forth between all the colors that you were using and just blend, and then you'll have to go back in and like reapply a little bit of the lid shade and then blend a little bit more. But that's how I feel like I get my eyeshadow looks to look so intense, because sometimes when you're doing like a little bit of last minute blending, it tends to blend away like the lid colors. So I'll just go back in and reapply a little bit of the lid color, and then the crease color, then the lid color. And I mean, obviously you can't spend all day doing it, but if you have like a few extra minutes, especially if you're doing like a pretty vibrant look, that definitely makes the difference. October has been so much fun for me on YouTube. I committed to uploading every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, which is 4 times a week. And that's kind of a lot for me because I was kind of uploading sporadically. There was a time where I was uploading like 5 times a week, and then I would do like every other day. And I feel like I couldn't figure out like a good schedule. Not that you have to have a schedule on YouTube, but it just helps me know like when I'm going to upload and like plan out which videos I want to do when. So it's really given me the motivation to just kind of film a lot of videos. This summer was so crazy that I feel like my YouTube channel suffered a little bit. I didn't upload as much as I wanted to because I just felt like life was so crazy, and I think it's okay because sometimes you kind of go through those time periods. So anyways, challenging myself to upload like 4 times a week in October and sticking with like that Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday schedule has really just kind of forced me to, plan ahead. And I don't know, I've just been having a lot of fun. I feel like I go through phases where I just feel super inspired and I'm excited to film, and that's kind of how I'm feeling right now. So anyways, I just wanted to say thank you to you guys for watching my videos this month. I feel like I'm just like kind of getting back into it and I'm loving it, and I just want to film all kinds of videos. So if there's anything you want to see, make sure you let me know. So when I did this look the first time, I think I just went in with the shade Stoned. That's what I'll do. And I blended that on the lower lash line. Usually I like to match things. So if I wear like a blue shimmer all over the lid, I'll go in and apply a blue shimmer to the lower lash line, but I think we're going to just stick with the way that I did it the first time. Okay, I'm going to apply liquid liner and then just clean this up a little bit. I'm going to be using my Urban Decay Perversion Waterproof Liquid Liner, and I can't do it on camera. I have to get so close to the mirror. So let me apply this and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I cleaned up the eye look a little bit. I did apply the shade My Precious as a brow bone highlight. That's just the light shade that I used to set my primer into place. I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Mainline and use this in the waterline. This is pretty similar to the color that I have all over the lid, but it is a matte pencil, so it's just going to kind of add a little bit of color to the lower lash line. I'm also going to just take a little bit below the waterline, like onto my actual lash line, and then I'm going to kind of smudge that with a brush in just a second. I've really been loving the Urban Decay pencils. I've always loved them, but lately I feel like I've been reaching for them for like every single look that I do. So I'm just going to go back in with the shade Stoned, and I'm just going to blend out that eyeliner and just kind of smudge it on the lower lash line, make everything look really smoky and intense. So I'm going to use the Covergirl Exhibitionist mascara and just apply this on my lower lashes. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the rest of my face makeup. I'm just going to apply a little bit of concealer to this freckle on my nose. So for bronzer, I'm using theBalm's Take Home the Bronze. Mine is kind of falling apart. It's kind of breaking apart because I'm getting down to the very end of it. But I'm just going to take this brush. I always get a ton of questions about this brush too. Oh, the name rubbed off. It's by the brand Crown Brush. I feel like it's like the SX40. I'll put it in the description box below, but I got it in a BoxyCharm box a long time ago, but it's like the perfect bronzer brush. This like jumbo fan brush from Colourpop is pretty similar too. I usually use that one for highlight if I want like a super diffused look, but this is just like my go-to bronzer brush. What other looks do you want to see on my channel this fall? I'm going to try to do like 1 or 2 per month. I feel like that's what I've been sticking with, and that's pretty good for me. I wouldn't consider my channel like a tutorial-based channel, but I do kind of like to show you the products that I'm using in action every once in a while. So let me know what else you want to see. I was thinking either like a pink, purple, like pretty intense look using the Jackie Aina palette. And I do want to do like a 10-minute makeup look using the Colourpop Tinted Moisturizer. But other than that, is there anything else you want to see on my channel? Let me know. I'm going to like sit down and plan out my videos for November soon, so I'll add them to my list. I know this is one that a lot of you guys wanted to see, so I wanted to make sure I actually sat down and filmed it because I told you guys I would. I'm going to be using the Hourglass blush in the shade Brilliant Nude. This has been my favorite blush for like the past 2 months, other than the Physicians Formula Butter blushes, because there are some new shades that I've been loving. This has been my go-to blush. So I've been using this Real Techniques cheek brush, which as you guys can tell is pretty dense. Before this, I was using like maybe a really fluffy brush, which gives more of like a diffused appearance, but I've just been wanting like a little bit more color with my blush. So after I do my blush and bronzer, I've been taking the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in the shade Diffused Light, and this is a Colourpop brush. And I think it's called their Small Fluff Brush, but I've just been blending this like right in this area of my face where I want it to be really bright. Sometimes I can take my blush and bronzer up a little bit too high or even too low. So I just kind of go over any areas where, you know, I didn't really want blush and bronzer, and I brighten them up with this powder. After I take like a little bit of pressed powder just to like cover that concealer, I also go over my nose. I feel like I need to figure out a new setup for Get Ready With Me's because I checked the footage earlier just to make sure everything was looking good. And I feel like this is awkward because I have to like lean to look to the mirror. I want it to be like right in front of me, but if I move this right in front of me, it like covers the lens. So I don't know what people normally use. I think they just have like a mirror sitting down low. Anyways, I'm going to use the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the shade Opal. I've really been loving this one a lot lately. Opal and Champagne Pop are my favorite Becca highlighters. I feel like I wore Champagne Pop all summer, so now I'm kind of, you know, reaching for Opal a lot. And then I'm also going to take that right in the inner corner as well, just to add like a pop of highlight. So for lips, I've been using the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat. This is their pencil in the shade Iconic Nude. This has been my favorite lip liner. I've actually just been wearing it with like any gloss lately, and I think it's just like the perfect Let me just do this without talking. It's a little bit darker than my lips, so I feel like it's the perfect shade to line them if I'm going in with a nude lipstick. I'm going to use the shade Bun Bun. This is from Urban Decay. It was a limited edition lipstick. It was part of the Kristen Leanne collection. It's a little bit different than the lipstick I used when I did this look for the first time, but it's slightly more cool toned with a little bit of like a pink hint. I feel like that's slightly too dark, so I'm just going to take this Stila liquid lipstick in the shade Angelo, which is a pretty light pink, and just apply a little bit on top just to lighten it up. Okay guys, this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I had so much fun sitting down with you, chatting with you, and just hanging out doing my makeup. So let me know in the comments below what products you're loving this fall, whether you're into a certain eyeshadow, a certain lipstick. I would love to hear from you. And let me know if there are other looks you want to see on my channel over the next few months. Since I am uploading more, I'm definitely open to filming more get ready with me's, more looks, so let me know. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon with a new video. Bye.